Hi there, my name is Puma St. Angel and I'm one of the co-founders here at the Rejuvenation and Performance Institute at Grace Grove. And I want to talk about a subject that might give you the weebie-jeebies, but it is definitely an epidemic in the US today, and it's parasites. We lead a full body rejuvenation retreat, which is a week-long retreat, either once or twice a month. And during that retreat, we're guiding people through a liver flush, and people have the option of doing a parasite protocol. And we just finished a retreat 2 days ago, and it was really amazing at how many people showed up here with parasitic infection, and they were young. I would have to say between late 20s to early 40s. And these people were showing up with all different kinds of symptoms. Some of the symptoms, like this one woman, beautiful, beautiful woman. And she showed up having had symptoms for 7 years. 7 years she'd been living with chronic pain, severe headaches. She hasn't been able to work. Luckily, she has a beautiful husband that supports her, and she's got amazing kids. But she's a nurse, and she hasn't been able to work for several years. And we realized it was parasites. And she did a round of pharmaceuticals a couple days before she came on the retreat. And then during the retreat, we continued doing a parasite protocol with her, and opened up all her detoxification channels so that all the die-off that she was having, she wasn't getting sick from the die-off. And she passed worms. I would show you the pictures, but really don't want to gross you guys out that much. So I literally spent this last week looking at several different kinds of parasitic worms and flukes. Now, parasites, it's really interesting. It's very difficult to test for parasites. The standard test right now for parasites is to do a stool test. Now, in order to test for parasites in the stool, that means that parasitic eggs or dead parasites had to have been passed in that one particular stool that you took for a test. So if you're passing eggs and worms every time you poop, then you definitely have a major infection going on. But a lot of times parasites can be hanging out anywhere. A common parasite is liver flukes. I would say about 8 out of 10 people that I test have liver flukes, and it's a type of parasite that's living in the liver, and they are eating on your food. So when you eat, they're eating your food, so you have less nutrition going into your body. But then they're essentially crapping, pooping in you. Then your body has to deal with all this extra excrement, causing inflammation, and that excrement gets into the bloodstream, and it will pass through the blood-brain barrier, causing weird, abnormal brain issues, inflammation. And so depending on where you might have the inflammation, you could have headaches, you could have symptoms of being bipolar or various other symptoms. So if you just don't feel right sometimes, you might really consider that it might be a parasite. And so guiding people through the parasite protocol while doing the liver flush was huge. I mean, these people went through massive transformations. And this girl, she finally said, she goes, "This is the first time in 7 years I feel like I'm gonna have my life back." She had energy, she went running. I mean, this was all in just 7 days. Her headache stopped. I mean, this amount of symptoms that went away was incredible in 7 days, and she'd been dealing with this for 7 years. Another girl showed up, and she had endometriosis, 29 years old. She had a couple surgeries already, and she had been living with a lot of pain, so she was addicted to pain meds, and she'd been living on pain meds for a really long time. And so we started cleaning up her system, and she went through the parasite protocol, went through the liver flush, passed worms, and she felt amazing. She felt like she had her life back and she could move on. She could make some decisions and move on with her life. And it was interesting because last week, right before the retreat started, on Dr. Oz, he did a whole show on parasites. and how common parasitic infection is. And if you have symptoms that can be just like the common cold, the flu, just weird body aches, intestinal disorders, headaches, skin issues, and all these things are very well symptoms of parasitic infection. And a lot of people that I treat have never even left the United States. So it's not like you even need to go to third world country to get parasites. You can get them right here. And you go to a restaurant and you eat a salad, the salad's not cooked. So there is easily all different kinds of bacteria and parasites, eggs that are on that salad that you're ingesting. Well, the hydrochloric acid in your stomach is your first line of defense against parasites and harmful bacteria and viruses and so forth. But most people aren't producing enough hydrochloric acid anymore. So when I do, it's called quantum reflex analysis testing with people, I test people's stomach point, and I have not found a single person that does not need hydrochloric acid. So that's your first line of defense. And so when I go travel, the one thing I am taking with me is hydrochloric acid, and I take it after every meal because that's my first line of defense against bugs. So if you don't have enough hydrochloric acid in your stomach, it's kind of like the gate to your garden is open and you're just letting in all these bugs into your body, and they're finding a home, and they'll be there for a really long time. And there's all different kinds of parasites. You can have spirochetes, amoebas, protozoas, flukes, liver flukes, flukes that hang out in the intestinal mucosa. You can have roundworms, ringworms, tapeworms, microzymas, yeast. There's all kinds of bugs. I mean, this is your body is an ecological system with all kinds of critters living in it, which is fine. And what happens a lot of times is your immune system is keeping these bugs in check. So you don't really get any symptoms. But if your immune system gets compromised, let's say you do get exposed to some other bacteria or a virus, and your immune system gets lowered, well then it can't keep those bugs in check, and now all of a sudden the infection starts to get out of hand and you start to get all these really weird symptoms. Especially with older people. Like a virus, the hepatitis virus likes to hang out in the spine, the shingles virus likes to hang out in the spine. People are living with a lot of viruses, but the immune system's keeping them in check. But if you notice, older people, or as people age, their immune system becomes lowered, and they can't keep these bugs in check. And so all of a sudden, that's why older people tend to get shingles. People my age, I'm 36 years old, I can guarantee you most people my age have the shingle virus. But it's not being, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not being exposed. It's not there's not any symptoms because people's immune systems are keeping them in check. But as you age, it changes. So if you have the opportunity to do a cleanse, to dump the infectious load on the body, you're going to live a whole lot longer, live without symptoms. You're going to have your vitality, mental clarity. You're going to feel passionate about life. What's the point of living? What's the point of going on if we can't really enjoy our life? So I'm inviting you to take the opportunity and really take a look at your life and your body and go, am I happy? Am I healthy? Or are there these little symptoms? And could I do something about it? Yes, you can. My favorite thing is to do parasite cleanses while doing some kind of cleanse. And here at Grace Grove, we do a liver cleanse every month, once or twice a month, that we take a small group through. We only take between 7 and 13 people, so that way everybody's getting really individualized attention. And doing parasitic cleanse while cleansing, you're going to dump the load, and you're going to hit that reboot switch, and you're going to feel excited about life again. Those little aches and pains are going to dissipate. I've seen it over and over and over again. We've taken thousands of people through our program. And I honestly can say that we probably have a 99.5% success rate. So take an honest look at your, at your physical symptoms. Keep a journal and start writing these things down. And notice if you get any symptoms around the time that you're eating food. Or maybe go on a cleanse or a juice fast for a few days and see how you feel. Because, if you're not feeding all those bugs, you might get different symptoms. And if you have the opportunity, come to Grace Grove, visit us, come for one of our retreat programs. It will change your life.